Hello.
Hey, Jen. You haven't missed anything yet. We're just getting
Okay,
started.
good. I was just rushing back.
Good job. Congratulations on your job that you're going to be starting soon.
Oh, yes, thank you.
I'm bummed that you're not going to be on our calls, though.
I know, I am too. I'm
Oh.
so bummed out. It's the hour. It's like right on 3. So,
Yep, I understand that.
but I have it this week and maybe next week, depending on how everything goes.
All right, cool. We started the recording, so we're going to get going, and then if anybody jumps on, we'll just catch them up with where we are. So, anybody want to lead us in? Michelle, you want to?
Well, I was just seeing myself on my sapphire throne, so maybe that's what we can also see ourselves on. As I was just saying, all right, here I am, and just seated in my sapphire throne. So if everybody can join me on that, that'll be cool. Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Works for me.
Yes.
So is that at the Sea of Glass, pretty much?
I just think it's the thrones that we sit on that we've been given. So it could be.
Can we shuffle them? Can we move them and make them one circle?
Oh yeah, I think yeah.
I love the color of sapphire.
Hey, Diane.
Di's on?
Yeah.
Hey, Di.
I just joined. Hi.
Hi, Di.
Hi.
So we're sitting in a circle of sapphire thrones to get started today.
Okay, I'll catch up.
Starting place. So any particular significance to the start with the sapphire thrones, Michelle?
I was just seeing, the reality that is what our seats look like in heaven, that we're seated in. That from Ezekiel chapter 1, which describes us sitting on the sapphire throne with the fire and lightning beneath our feet, with the cherubim, and that these are the thrones that we sit on. These are who we are in the heavenly realm. So I was just seeing us in our seats. I kind of saw us as we were sitting together in the circle, that we were reaching out to each other and just holding hands, and I saw this very white, what I would say was a portal opening up in the middle of us. Is anybody else seeing anything like that?
I see it.
I see it. Hey, Simone. And I was putting my feet in it, and it felt like a vacuum, so I kind of had to hold on to my chair so I could stay in my chair. It was like it was gonna suck me up into it. And then I was also seeing the four faces kind of floating around our heads too, which was interesting. It was almost like while we're sitting on our thrones, we also are engaging in the ark at the same time.
Mm. Yeah, I agree with that. I kind of felt like that portal was about substance of things. So it's like the substance of the faces, the four faces. Mm. The substance of his presence, of Jesus' presence. Mm. So is anyone engaging with the face of the eagle? Because that's what I'm seeing.
Yes.
Hi, Neil. Welcome. Go ahead. Hey, Neil.
We can hear you, Neil.
Perfect.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't get nothing to work. This is the first time using this, so
Okay, now we can hear you. Great.
excellent.
So if you want, we have all of our cameras turned off because we're recording.
Okay. I will shut that off.
Okay, there you go.
Ah,
Awesome. So feel free to contribute. We just ascended straight to where we're sitting in the heavenly realms on our sapphire thrones. And we're seeing we're sitting around in a circle on our thrones, holding hands. And then we saw a big, really, really bright light in the center of us that appeared to be sort of like a portal, but full of substance, and the four faces of God are near us. So that's what we're engaging in right now.
okay. All right. Do you guys mind if I just listen for a little bit and see where this goes?
That's fine.
No, that's fine.
Feeling the eagle has come to bring unprecedented clarity of sight and vision.
Mm.
Far sight. Almost so things look black and white.
Mm. Yeah, I was feeling that too, very strong prophetic and the flow of the prophetic words of life, the flow of just knowing. It's almost like I felt like I could sink into the face, Yeah, I hadn't felt that before.
Does everybody see the eagle's face?
Yes, I do.
And more.
Yeah, I see it.
What else do you see, Roger?
Um, I would really, I've never seen it like this, but it's as if the eagle popped out and it's actually an eagle flying around. And the engagement is get on the eagle and ride it.
And I've heard it screeching too.
It's a very large eagle that we could all get on and ride. So I'm asking the Lord, is the portal what you want us to engage with? Is there a destination through the portal, or is the destination through the eagle, or are we to just continue sitting on the thrones? But the eagle kept swooping down like you're supposed to jump on. So I thought I'd throw it out. I've never had the face, one of the four faces, sort of come alive like that.
I'm actually sensing that we're supposed to go inside the eagle versus on it. Like Michelle had said, get sucked into the face of it. Like it's almost like we're to become one with it.
That makes sense too.
Yeah, I agree with that because I'm laying on it with my arms extended with its wings.
So does everybody want to just kind of lay prostrate on it and put our arms out, covering the wings? Like becoming one with it?
Yes.
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 I was thinking of that airplane that had to do the emergency landing on the Hudson, and everybody's out on the wings for safety.
I was almost being able to have the vision of the eagle. Like I was starting to be able to see out of its eyes.
Wow.
And everything became very clear. Like what Deborah said about unprecedented sight and vision. It's also clarity, I think, is involved with this.
I have that perspective too, Kathy. It's like the front of the bus kind of a view, but it's from, literally, I guess, from his eyes. I didn't think of it at first, but it is from his eyes as we're flying.
But everything kind of started to magnify. Hey, Helen, if you want to go ahead and turn your video off and your mic, of course, until you wanted to contribute, of course. We welcome you. Hi, Helen.
Hi, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
I forgot to say, facing the eagle, after we got on, I saw him take a hard right turn. and now I just see us just flying.
Does anybody see him focusing on something?
I am seeing blue, like sparkles of blue.
I was sensing that the eagle was like focused on that portal. Um, before when the portal opened up, there was a frequency and vibration I just felt, and I think what Roger said is right, that maybe we enter in through writing. I mean, it's not writing. We're already become one with the eagle, and we just have to enter into the portal and see where it will lead to. I need a confirmation on that.
Well, when Kathy was saying that, I think Kathy said that she saw everything magnified. Is that right, Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. And I saw, I just saw that there's such clarity, that there's such clear detail of everything. And then when you were talking about, going through the portal, I just saw that the portal had appeared so white. So I just saw such purity. And I thought we were going into the detail of purity. Hmm. The clarity of purity. That the portal was an expression of purity.
Keep feeling that the point here in all this is that we embody and release in the earth this clarity of vision so that everyone can see the life for what it is and see the truth for what it is, that there'll be an unprecedented realization, like spirits of blind, all kinds of veils and fogs will be lifted, and people will just shake themselves and say, oh, now I see, now I understand. And they'll be able to see, with heaven's eyes. This is happening so that we can release it in the earth among the peoples.
Does anybody agree with that? I do.
I think that that's one aspect of our mandate for today, yes. I'm curious to see if there's more, though, too.
I was also seeing that that there's like in this portal that there's the expression of detail. That detail is as much part of the very fiber of God as the broad stroke of a vision, you know. And I'm just seeing that detail. I was getting the impression that detail is important, not to be overlooked. Because purity, to see a thing purely is to see it in its detail, not to miss something about it. I don't know if I'm making sense, but am I making sense, everybody?
Yes, you are.
Good.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Michelle.
Good.
Yeah, I'm thinking that we're going to be showing even more detail to for Revelation. So how about if everybody, through the eyes of the eagle, look in that portal and see what we see, the fine details.
Okay, I'm just going to throw this out there and see if it bears witness with anybody. As I'm look, as the eagle is looking into the portal, I get a sense that the portal itself will cause a purity to see in detail, and so it's like almost like a purification process to see in detail.
All right, well that makes sense to me because I saw like a canvas and it was full of like art, but then it completely wiped out and became a blank canvas to build upon. And the canvas representing the purity, because it's clean, it doesn't have anything on it.
I see that.
I also saw that place of purity is I saw it as a place of rest, complete rest, because there's no conflict of confusion or anything. It's
That's
clear,
what I'm feeling.
so clear.
Yeah.
And there's such a sense, the resonance of it is such a sense of stability and purity. It's just like there's no question about it. It's just clear. It's there.
Yeah.
It's almost as if we shouldn't have any preconceived understanding.
Yeah, I would say so because you saw the canvas that was painted on white clean.
Mm-hmm. It was like everything that we know we should erase.
Yeah, so it seems like we're being shown a clear, I don't know if I'm just going to say definition for lack of a better word of how truly the faith of the eagle is to operate, which is kind of obvious, but I just wanted to say that.
Oh. So whatever picture gets drawn on that is truly prophetic through the eyes of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So you almost start out blank until he gives you the understanding.
But more than a blank canvas, it's a whitewashed canvas.
Right.
So that everything that's painted on it will be brighter than on a normal canvas.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Roger.
So it starts from a more pure place to begin with.
Yeah, like a sinless place.
Right.
So I think we're being shown here the true way that an oracle is to operate.
Yeah.
Wrong meeting. No, I'm only kidding.
Yeah. I got that too, Simone, because I was just getting that scripture come to my mind. Jesus said, I only say what I hear my Father say. I only say what I hear my Father say, and the words that I speak are spirit and life. It's perfect.
I hold that one close to my heart.
You're getting a sense that the objective of this detailed look at purity is the end game being on earth as it is in heaven. The purity of heaven needs to come to earth. That all these things that we can't seem to accomplish now, that in heaven there's plenty, on earth there's lack.
Yes. Yeah.
In heaven there's health, on earth there's sickness.
Yeah.
And want, and so it's the purity has to lead to ultimately to on earth as it is in heaven, bringing heaven to earth.
Aren't those the everlasting doorways?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were just talking about that this week, huh, Di?
We were just talking about it earlier as well.
Those everlasting doors are coming up everywhere. Which is,
I agree.
Yeah, they are just everywhere. I love it.
So it's almost like when you look at someone, for example, because we're looking at them through the eagle's eyes, that we actually see this blank, this pure blank expression, and then it forms in front of us as it's revealed to us the true identity of that person.
Yeah, so what you're saying, Kath, is that no preconceived ideas.
Right. Like so non-judgmental, because there isn't anything to even, you can't even see anything to even judge, basically. It's that pure.
It's the eyes of love that cover a multitude of sins, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing the arc now between heaven and earth, and this is the true way that we're to arc as oracle.
Hey, Jeannie, is that you?
It is.
Okay. I
just finished with a customer. The last few days, I have been working like crazy, swamped with customers. So,
well, I guess that would be a good thing.
At least I'm busy working, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi. Hi, everybody. And I've been fighting a sinus infection and bronchitis, and I never, hardly ever get sick. So I don't know what is going on, but I'm trying to get in the healed zone. I'm trying to change my frequency, because I'm telling you guys, I just don't get sick. So it's kind of bizarre. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, we'll just look at you as that blank canvas that we just saw that doesn't have any, it looks like heaven, basically.
Yes.
Dokes.
Yeah.
It's interesting because every time I look at the canvas, I still don't see anything. Like I thought maybe we were going to see a new image appear on it, but I just still don't. It's like there's a point to be made here.
I think the point is no preconceived ideas.
Man, we are really supposed to get our brains out of the way, aren't we?
So is something supposed to pop up on the canvas, or this is just going forward?
Somebody want to answer her question?
I thought maybe nobody could hear me. I thought, well, it must have cut out or something.
No, we heard you. It's like it would be an entire summary of where we're at with this thing. Michelle,
okay.
You wanna or Simone, go for it.
You want me to give her a summary of from where we began to now?
No, a bit, because her question was, is there something that's going to be like popping onto the canvas,
Like, is the canvas all of a sudden going to have the picture and it's God telling us, okay, I want you to pray for, New York City, or I want you to pray for people to be healed of cancer, or, is that what that canvas is there for, to tell us what we need to be doing?
No.
No, I don't think
No.
we know
Okay.
yet.
Yeah, we're
Oh, we don't even know.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
the basis of all this is regarding clarity of purity. Okay, so think of clarity of purity, purity with truth, seen with heaven's eyes, the expression of detail of purity. How we're only supposed to see things the way that God, or say things the way that God says things, like in his word where it says, I only say what I hear my Father saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he wants us to work through him. We need to have his eyes, his mouth, and his ears.
Well, yeah, because
and his
we're
hands.
right now, Jeannie, we became one with the eagle and the four faces. We entered into and became one with the eagle.
Okay, with the oracle, right?
Yes.
No. The eagle is the oracle, is that right?
Right. We're this, yeah,
Okay.
it kind of came down to that.
Okay.
So that's kind of
So
where
then that's our speaking with our mouth. Okay. Gotcha.
and no
Cool.
no preconceived anything of anybody.
Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
Okay, so that's kind of where we are. Does anybody else have anything to add to it, please?
Also, we were seeing that it was a place of complete rest because it's, in that purity, there's no question, there's no conflict, there's no confusion. It's just a place of just complete restfulness.
Yes. Yes, he's really been dealing with us on resting. At least he sure has me.
I second that for myself.
Yeah. And
Me
it's
too.
hard for me because I want to go, do. And I'm like, sit down and chill out. It's hard. Yes.
Then there's also the point of clarity. I believe also clarity, being able to see clearly.
And I just keep getting the word without processing, no processing.
Well, yeah, because everybody does that. They try to figure it out in their head and analyze, and they want to get an understanding. And we can't do it in the flesh. And even people that are, spirit-filled, prophetic, operating in gifts, strong in the Lord, still end up operating in the flesh.
That's right.
I mean, I see it and experience it all the time, including me. It's very hard to separate, the flesh from the spirit. And people think they're operating in the spirit, and then you'll find out they're not. They're still operating in their own knowledge, which is still the old wineskin.
Yeah. You can sense it by the
hard.
Spirit.
Yeah.
You can sense
It takes quite a process, to get there. Even people that are older that have been, doing this for 30, 40 years, it's still, this is a new thing.
Yeah, you have to throw everything out and start all over again.
Yes, that's true.
The Lord asked me to give up the faith that I knew. The faith this morning I woke up and I realized I had the wrong faith, thinking of and desiring from God, this is what I want, this is what everything, and then no. So that's the wrong faith. That was a hard one to swallow, a hard pill to swallow.
So
it
was kind of like
it's tough.
It was kind of like you seeing that canvas with something that you thought was on it just completely erased.
Completely gone.
Yeah.
I seen a whole bunch of thorns. And I'm like, what is that?
Which he's telling us to take everything you know or thought you knew and throw it in the trash.
That's right.
Start over.
That's right.
Like
Start
you
over
really
again.
don't know anything.
You don't.
That's really what he's telling us, because the way he's doing things now is so different. If we operate out of the stuff we used to know, it's not accurate.
Yeah. And you don't want to put someone else on the wrong path by accident.
Person in this realm, because you don't really know what you're doing, or you don't understand what you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. To ask, you guys are doing the eagle stuff. I'm a little new at the eagle stuff. I'm kind of like an ox being trained up, and I haven't done a lot of eagle stuff. So when you guys are telling to get on the bird and fly and go through the portal and stuff like that, I'm having a really difficult time because I don't see it like that. I'm just seeing myself sitting on the bird, going up in warm air. The bird goes on a big circle. That's what I've been seeing for the last half hour. But I do agree with the stuff that you've been talking about, the white caverns, and because it's happening in my own life too. Start over.
Well, it's interesting how God will communicate to us through his four faces, which is the lion, ox, eagle, man.
Yeah.
And today he wanted to use the eagle's perspective, which is the prophetic. Some think
Okay.
the ox is prophetic and the eagle's apostolic, but then there's another understanding that the ox is apostolic and the eagle is prophetic. So in this case, the eagle is truly prophetic. So that's how we're looking at it.
Okay.
But as an eagle's eyes see things so clearly, that clarity and that strength and the vision of clarity that led us to dissecting more purity, the clarity and purity, and really looking at what he's wanting to show us about purity.
It's almost a dichotomy here, because I've been feeling for the last few minutes like I did when I would be up in a small plane and we'd be in the clouds for a long time, where it's really disorienting. And which is the point, because we're supposed to just lose all the old stuff and just not be tethered to that anymore. But then on the other hand, because of that, there is the clarity of detail. And I'm also getting that, with the people that God is wanting to reach and that we will be able to reach, we completely have to be, not even smell like church or religion, because they'll pick up on it and they'll just know. But we have to be completely free of everything that we've known except God himself.
I totally resonate with that, for sure. I get that.
Do we need to make the distinction between prophetic and being an oracle? Meaning, in the new, the oracle the oracle hears and and reports back, but also legislate.
That's real good, Mom.
I mean, that just came to me. Is that hitting anybody else that way as well? Or does anybody agree or disagree? And
I
that,
would just say yes, I agree with that because I kept hearing legislate all this week and we're being called, of course, to do that and go up into heights and places where we weren't before. So I agree. And I mean, even in the natural, we're being called to move forward and step up.
okay, that was just a clarity of terms.
But if we saw the four faces and the one specifically is the eagle, are we making a distinction between the eagle's character, I guess? What would or purpose?
I think, I'm not gonna say think, but I feel it's like a higher order.
So can you relate this then to everything else that we've seen just now?
I think I think oracle actually means one who speaks the words of God. And so that can be concerning future, it can be concerning a decree, it can be concerning a ruling or a judging, as long as it's the words of God.
Okay.
But it's not just the words of God where we would do it in our own strength, where we would pick it up and just say, oh, well, the word of God says this, this, and this. It's actually speaking by the unction of the Holy Spirit, the word of God, the words of God.
I agree.
So that Jesus is the oracle, and we are oracles. We are oracles.
Mm-hmm.
So we are the living letters, but we are also the living spoken words.
Yeah, it's being the mouthpiece of God. If God has an accent, I speak with his accent, his intonation, his vibration. My voice has his vibration when I'm an oracle.
I agree with that. It's just that in my mind, when I think of prophetic now, I think of the lower levels or prophesying in the first or second heaven instead of going to the third heaven and hearing and saying what you've heard.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm totally on the same page now. In fact, I was looking at that portal when Jen said that she just felt this frequency and sound, the vibration coming from it, which is truly our point of, that's where we get the information.
Yes.
Yes, because remember, Jesus spoke what he saw as well and heard, but he heard and saw. That's how he spoke. And so when we're looking and we're just recognizing, we're seeing this purity, and we're not having preconceived ideas. We're looking to see and to hear and then to speak.
And then we can remind ourselves of that big portal that was in the middle of our chairs.
Yeah.
That's where we need to go to get understanding and words to speak. And probably the more that we do it, the better we'll get at it. So I just saw the eagle bringing this canvas to the Lord, and the Lord had the paintbrush, and he was the one that was painting on it.
And we all know he does a really good work.
He's the masterpiece, yeah.
Yeah.
We are his masterpiece.
Yeah.
But it's him that drew us.
Yeah.
And everything else. Maybe that's how we can see pictures and on this, when we look at other people, we could just see whatever he draws.
Are you talking about like in spirit or by flesh and blood?
In spirit.
Spirit, okay.
It's like he's the artist.
I'm getting this picture of Michelangelo, and in that the level of painting that he's painting is on that level. It's just masterful, and the detail that's in the painting.
I'm feeling it's he doesn't make any shortcuts. He won't be using cheap paint. He won't be using any bare minimum stuff. He'll be using premium for all of us, for each and every one of us.
That's good.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm kind of seeing mountains. Is that kind of helping anybody?
Diane, Roger, what are you guys getting?
Not much. I'm just following along.
Okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm getting more about Michelangelo in that as sons, we can be like Michelangelo, meaning that we go to heaven and what we see, we just reproduce, and it's in the same detail and the same beauty that he created. So the beauty that's in heaven will be the beauty here on earth, just by us simply painting what we see him paint.
Wasn't he like a Renaissance man and made like scientific inventions and a variety of fronts that he was a genius on?
That's what I was getting, Deborah. I really feel like he was an oracle because, he painted the Peruvian man, too.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that right. I think it starts with a V. Peruvian man.
Oh, uh-huh. And I was thinking earlier when we were talking about details, Michelangelo came to mind, and also some of the great music, the very best music, like Beethoven's Pathetique second movement always moves me. I'm feeling the intense pent-up delight of God as he considers releasing heaven on earth in this way, in these ways.
Well, and I'm starting to see the details. Like if he knows how many hair we have on our head, that's a lot of details in his drawings of us. And so when we look at something or somebody and that we can see the detail of how he sees it. Which we could then create with him or reproduce what he's already produced.
That's what I got too, Kathy, that that's how everything is to get here on earth. The technology, the music, the art, all of it is as a result of us seeing it there and bringing it here.
Would you call it a reproduction or would you call it new?
The word that's coming to me is reflection.
Oh, I like that even better. Okay.
What's the word?
Reflection.
Yes. Yeah, thinking God's thoughts after him.
I believe that's what's happened over the centuries. People, even if they were unbelievers, even if they didn't know it was God, that Everything that's true and brilliant has come from him, his heart and mind and hand, his breath. Even if they weren't Christians, he doesn't care. He's going to express himself through us.
Yeah, that's the glory.
Mm-hmm. He's sovereign. He can he can express himself through anything, anyone.
I agree, Deborah.
And it's his. I think it's his joke. It's his sense of humor if they don't believe in him.
I just wanted to make a correction for the sake of the recording. It was Leonardo da Vinci that painted the Vitruvian Man.
Okay.
Who did you say it was before?
Michelangelo.
Gotcha.
But I submitted to you, both of them got it from Kai.
Hmm.
So do you think we need to activate this purity in ourselves?
Well, that goes along with what I was just going to say, Roger. I remember when we were all sitting around on our thrones, and Michelle had said that there's the fire and lightning that's under our feet, underneath us, which I felt like that was burning, purifying, and the lightning's just, it's like completely wiping us like that white canvas, getting rid of everything. So every time we sit on that throne, we have to empty ourselves out completely and not have anything, no thoughts, no nothing when we go and sit on our throne. So do you think we all should go sit back on our thrones again and just at least start with us?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm already there.
I'm in.
I'm in. And I'm on.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I'm like, am I going to have amnesia? Am I going to even remember what my name is, where I live, my address? Like, okay. So I guess bottom line, there shouldn't be any fear associated with it.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of more like be still and know that I am God kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that, Diane.
Yeah, I see us taking a position of yieldedness and of submission. I mean, that's kind of what our posture is, to receive whatever he wants to give.
Yeah, I see we each other talking in the spirit, and we're all laughing. We're all having a good time. This is a place of joy. It's a place of excitement.
Mm. It's got nothing to do with relying on what we've known before.
That's right.
Right.
Woohoo! It's so freeing, actually.
Yeah.
Ah.
And it doesn't hurt to smile, you know? You know, when you have a good laugh and that smile on your face, it hurts every once in a while. We have it all the time. That giant smile.
I see a blank canvas beside each of us as well.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. Oh.
Yeah, in the way that Lord was telling me, do you remember the room of portraits that we went to? That he had painted those portraits. And it was portraits of men in white linen, if you recall. And we actually went into the Moses portrait. That he wants to paint us as well. Maybe we'll end up in the Hall of Portraits.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that.
Yeah, I saw that, Roger, that we were actually being put onto that canvas. So actually becoming that pure being. Not just looking at purity, but actually being purity. Our true image is pure.
Yeah, does he not make our clothes clean and white by stepping through the veil? Has to make more clean.
Yes. I keep getting that picture that Paul had come back to my mind. You beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, of being transformed daily, moment by moment. And so I keep getting that that the focus is we're not looking to what we've known. We're not looking to preconceived ideas. We're just looking to him, looking into him, who's pure. And so it's a totally different way of living.
You can think of it as a circle. It's like before we were conceived. Going back to that.
When you said that, Michelle, I heard right after that, what you behold, you become.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
Is everybody's canvas blank? Because there should be some new exciting thing written on it as what we are learning and being trained what to do with Yeshua or Jesus in our private time. The reason why I ask is that every time I look at mine, I see in the bottom left, I have mountains. The Lord has said that it's a place of royalty, ruling your mountains.
I also had seen those mountains after you mentioned that, and but I saw them in the context of all mountains being in purity. You know, the expression of every mountain is full of purity. All the mountains that they are.
Yeah. Well, the mountains that we don't own are corrupted and filthy. But when we take over, we have to cleanse them, purify them, set them ignite with Dad's fire, and then re-bless it with Yeshua's blood, and then boom, we're in royalty.
Yeah.
Well, my canvas is still blank.
I just saw Jesus face, and these lightnings were coming out of his face into me. And I felt that he was releasing that purity of who his image is into me. That's the canvas of his canvas, if I can put it that way. That was what was on the canvas, was his face releasing that purity into me.
Oh, I like that.
Nice. Does he not have a nice face or what? Just perfect.
Yeah. With sapphire eyes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Fire in them. Wow.
So when Neil was talking about mountains earlier, I saw mountains, but the purity was in these snow-capped mountain lakes. This little lake that I just felt like I wanted to get into. Just, is that an activation for this purity to go into that water?
And why not? The water usually comes from the top peaks, right? And then washes down to the land. So that makes sense.
I had a kind of a different application of what we were talking about. In my mind, I saw the mountain, but then I thought of the verse, search me, O God, and know my heart, test me and know my thoughts. And as if that was applying to, because we are our mountain, and it kind of goes along with the purifying fire and all those things, is that it's like the canvas is us. It's our thoughts. It's how we reflect things, and are we pure? It's not a condemning thing or anything like that, but it was just, that was my interpretation of this, of how the Lord was bringing it together for me.
Yeah, be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation, charity and spirit and faith and purity. Titus 4:12. Or 1 Timothy 4:12. Exactly.
So, do you guys think that this is a call towards deeper intimacy and holiness and purity? Or is this a portrayal of how he sees us? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's A and B.
Yeah, I
I
was going to
personally
say
think.
both. Both.
Because we both need to practice on being pure daily, right? And then also activating it in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it as a type of plumb line, as a guide to of how we can line up with heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, amen.
I just see it like as emptied out vessel to just be filled with him. His thoughts, his mind, his reflection, his DNA, his character, his identity.
Yeah, I love that, because it's like all we do is look into it. We don't try and figure it out. We don't try and we just look in.
Exactly.
And as we see him and as we see this purity, it reflects into us. We become it. It's so easy. It's so easy.
It sounds easy, but putting it in practice is a whole nother day.
Yes.
But it's funny because when I look into it, it's like there's just nothing because there's nothing of me left. It's all
Yeah.
being filled with him. Hmm.
It reminds me of that song that I don't know. I have, that song that sings, "Lord, I'm available to you. My storage is empty. I'm available to you."
Yep, that's what it looks like. And it's really sobering. Hmm.
Mine looks like the Delectable Mountains, where the joy of them and the longing for them are the same thing. The beauty that I must have and that I must pursue is the same as the fulfillment.
Thank you for showing us, Lord.
And I'm also getting that as his identity becomes ours, we each have our individuality that he's created within each of us. So we still have our soul, which is unique, but it's pure.
But we still need to cleanse it though too, right? So
Yeah, which is the emptying and the blankness of it.
yeah.
I'm seeing and hearing the original blueprint of us. It's just original.
Right.
That's good.
Because I was also shown the gates, and I was also shown the gates on the canvas that they, removed all the blockages.
Yes.
So now this is interesting. So you know how we each have our canvases? Well, I'm seeing them kind of laid on top of each other, not stacked perfectly, but alternating, like one put this way and then that way and then this way and then that way and this way and then that way. But we're all like intertwined. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like we're not by ourselves. Our canvas is not, it's like coming together now.
Yeah.
They're filling out the shape and form of the ego.
So does everybody want to just for our grand finale, go jump into that lake that's in the middle of the top of the mountain?
Cannonball.
Yeah.
Cold.
I know, and it's really cold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's snowy. Feeling like a polar bear.
Hardy swimming.
Doing the
Well, I
backstroke.
get a sense that mountains and purity is a call from Jesus to bring your purity to the top of the mountain of transfiguration. Be transformed and take that transformation to the earth and bring heaven to earth.
Mm.
But the question of the day is, how do we do that? Like, how do we retrieve the stuff from the heavens, put it in our spirit man, and then have our spirit man connect with our bodies, and then refrequence everything? Because I think we have to be in a certain frequency to do things such as that, don't we? Or
No, this would be going to your mountain, opening up a everlasting door, because that was how God accessed earth in the Garden of Eden.
yeah.
And so when we do that, then we act as gates. And so, yeah, we've got gate cleansing and things that we've got to do. So we may at first be limited in what we can effectively send, but as we pursue that purity, then those gates get more effective. And then when we open those everlasting doors, then we can release whatever from heaven that there is behind those doors.
That's so cool.
Jonathan Walton says, physical acts of obedience done in faith release spiritual realities. That's part of how we bring heaven to earth, how we bring wealth to poverty on earth. Spiritual acts of obedience done in faith.
And intimacy with the Father,
Mm-hmm.
intimacy with heaven.
But do others agree with that? With opening the everlasting doors?
Yeah, I just want to add, just the last 5 minutes, I've just been gazing on God, and I'm feeling this amazing frequency. Because I was just asking them how to, engage with this purity. So, like Michelle said, I just gazed on him, and then I just all of a sudden start feeling this vibration all over my body. So I feel like I'm receiving that purity even now. I just wanted to share that, but I'm all for us going through the mountain and jumping in the water too, if that's what we decide to do.
What's really neat is that we can do both things. We both can stand before God and get that frequency. Because we can be in many different places at the same time. That's what's really neat about the heavens. So we can stare down God and also swim in the pool all at the same time.
That's good.
That's what I think is really neat. And we can sit on our seat of rest, and we can hang out with the angelic and just keep on going. But it's as far as your mind at the time can expand outwards.
Yes,
To receive.
Yes. Omnipresent. You
Yeah.
can be everywhere, just like
Yeah.
the Lord is.
That's
You can
right.
see the beginning and end, and in between an outcome, and all the different options. Just reflect Him and His love.
Makes my heart jump an extra beat.
does the purity have to extend to our physical bodies as well?
Yeah, Roger, I was seeing that too. And I just was seeing that every detail, just like God is so detailed, and detail is so important, every detail of our cells.
Right. Exactly. If we're looking at detail, then our very own tabernacles, the DNA that engineers are trying to tamper with. We need to purify every aspect of our body as well.
I was told
talks about, the cleansing of the spiritual gateways.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was the first 3 months of my relationship with God. That was tough. So the purity, are you guys like thinking of purity as Yeshua, or purity as a spirit of purity? The reason why I ask is that I've met the spirit of purity, but I haven't met I know Yeshua has the purity in him, but yeah.
Well, we have that purity in us too, because we have his very presence in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just radiating that. It's just engaging with that part of him and seeing that part of him that causes us to come to identify that and identify with that, which is already in us.
Mm.
Oh, I think about gate. I think about gates as more opening from the inside out rather than from the outside. In other words, in the temple that we are, the presence of God himself in us to radiate out of us needs those gates to be open to him.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Because we already have that, his very presence in us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if any doors or any things are closed, where it's difficult for the presence of the Lord to assist, per se. But with those doors being opened or cleansed, so God can access us easier through the first love gates.
Yeah, so that's about the yielding that we saw earlier. Just and no preconceived ideas, not trying to figure things out, but just gazing into him and yielding to him releases that.
Cut through the red tape of the purity issue, and you just go back to your origin as a spirit inside of God, the plate inside of God before you were conceived in your mother's womb.
We're made perfect.
never known anything but perfection.
That's right.
Mm.
So you guys feel at peace with this? With this
Yeah.
revelation? Is it time to stop the recording?
I think we can.
Anybody else? Everybody else?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to stop the recording.